It's been a little under 2 months since Geoff Collins officially arrived on North Broad to take the head coaching position at Temple University. As soon as his plane landed from Gainesville, Florida, he hit the ground running. As things start to calm down after National Signing Day, I sat down with Collins to talk about recruiting, his new life in Philadelphia, and how he plans to lead the Owls into next season. Temple's kind of history with recruiting is you don't necessarily look for the big star players out of high school, but it's all about developing. What is your personal approach as a coach?
Well, the big thing is I was at Mississippi State for 4 years, and in that place we recruited against Alabama, we recruited against LSU, Auburn, Arkansas, some really, really good football programs, and Mississippi State was a developmental program. And this is very similar. We get a bunch of kids that might fly under the radar for one reason or another, and they come here and they work hard, they're committed to playing tough football, and they just end up after 4 years winning a lot of games, winning championships, and getting ready to move on to the NFL. So I think that that recipe has worked for a long time and will continue to.
And you came from Florida, you were at Mississippi State,
Right.
and now you're up north. So what was the recruiting process any different for you because you weren't as familiar with the area?
No, it was good. I'd been here before, and then when I was at Georgia Tech, maintained a recruiting presence up here. I think in 2006 we signed the #1 player from Pennsylvania to come to Georgia Tech while I was the recruiting coordinator. And I was coaching at Albright College, I guess 18, 19 years ago. But, loved the place, loved the area, loved the high school coaches and the programs, and they fit into our personality here in Philadelphia.
And for you personally, you go from south where you mentioned in your opening press conference there wasn't 4 seasons, and now
Right.
you're up here. What's this transition been like for you and your family?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blast. My wife and daughter coming up here at the end of the month, but we're excited. She has family up here, Delaware, Glen Burnie, Maryland. So we're just excited to be a part and see the snow and see the change in the seasons and just be around some tough, hard-nosed kids that want to win.
And when you were at Albright, Coach Rule was there. Have you maintained that friendship, and what kind of impact did he have on you when you came to Temple?
Yeah, I mean, Matt and I have been friends for 20 years, and big part of the last 4 seasons, just getting to know intimately this program, getting to hear about these kids from Matt's perspective, the administration, things like that. So it was an easy decision for my family and I to take this opportunity because we had heard so many good things and been integral in a lot of key decisions that had been made since Matt was the head coach.
And what did you know about Temple before you even heard about the head coaching position? What was your prior knowledge of?
Sure, long history of football being played here, and over the last 10 years, just the success that has been had, the culture that has been built, and I think it's a culture that's based on what Philadelphia is known for, being tough, being physical, having grit, having determination, and I think finding that right recipe here at Temple University is why it's been successful.
And you've had a significant number of players throughout your coaching year make it to the next
Right.
level. What's the biggest thing that you preach to your guys? This is how you're going to be successful.
Sure. Well, the big thing is just come to work every single day. The recipe is there. The coaches are here. We have one of the best strength coaches in college football in Dave Feely, and Ryan Horton, Jordan Barber, those guys. So they'll just dive in, listen to what they have to say, and then once it's time for spring practice or preseason practice, just take your talents to a whole nother level. And there's a track record behind it, and I think that that's instant credibility with our players here on campus.
And it's almost been an entire staff change for your players. How have they responded to everything that you guys
Right.
are asking of them?
Well, I think the biggest thing is once they got to know us and saw that the culture that we're bringing in is very similar to the one that's been established over the last 10 years. I think it put them at ease, and then they get to be around us and they see how much we care, how much we're invested in their daily lives, not only just football, but academically, socially, spiritually. I think they realize that we're for real, we're here for them, they're our priority, and we want to help them develop on the field, in the classroom, and all those things. So I think they bought in very quickly.
One of the praises that you received when you took this coaching job was that you want to get to know the players man to
Right.
man, and you're big on social media,
Right.
and you know how to engage with them on a level that they understand.
Sure.
How important is that for you as a head coach?
It's huge. I want to have relationships with every one of the players. Last Monday and Tuesday before signing day, I spent 11 hours each day with 10-minute meetings with every one of the players on our team. And it was a tough, long 2 days, but I thought that our players, getting to know them was the most important part of this process. Signing day, was a big deal. We had a lot of good players sign with us, but we had a 5:30 workout that morning because the guys on our team is what is going to help us be champions, and we want to make sure we connected with them on that day. They put on the Temple hat first thing in the morning, signed a little letter that we made for them, and just everything that we're doing is about the current team, even adding the guys on signing day, so I think the guys appreciated that.
And has the transition been tough, or is it just kind of flowed right away?
It's fun. I hadn't slept very much, but it's been fun. Got a great group of guys around us. We kept some great coaches and staff members that are here, and everybody's been so supportive. Going to the Eagles games or going to the Flyers games and getting recognized. That's a little different from a guy from the South, but it's been a blast.
And you've been an assistant coach and director of player personnel, and now you're a head coach. So has there been any specific experiences for you where you're ready to take on this next challenge?
Everything that I've done throughout my career, I've been in a position of leadership. I've never been a scheme guy. I've been more of a culture guy, and I think that leads to being a head coach and running a program, because it's about how you approach your daily business, how you go about your work ethic, and that's what I've always done. But the biggest change is the number of people that come in and out of that office on a daily basis. Is different from being an SEC defense coordinator for 7 years. This amount of people that are coming in and out of the office on a daily basis.
And the SEC culture is so huge. I mean, down south, what elements of that are you going to try to bring up here?
Well, the big thing is, this is a top 20 championship program, and just making sure that people realize that, the administration realizes it, they work towards it, they act like it, our players act like it, they carry themselves, but just making sure the people that are in our surrounding area, Philly, South Jersey, North Jersey, understand that Temple is the real deal. We're here to stay. We're not just a 2-year wonder. This is a program that is fighting to be nationally recognized, and it's going to happen.
And when you officially joined Temple and you met everybody here, Dr. Pat Kraft, what were your initial first impressions?
They get it. They understand what it takes to be a big-time program. They're striving for that, and then, picking me from the SEC, kind of shows that this is the direction that we want to go in, and the support's been tremendous. Everybody involved in the university, involved in the program, has just been first class and handled themselves in a way that makes you confident on a daily basis that this is the place to be.
And you're a defensive guy, Minister of Mayhem.
Sure.
Can you kind of explain where that whole thing came from?
I think it's kind of the nature of my personality, energy, juice, flying around. When you see me on the practice field, I'm running to the ball. But just the style of football that we play, exciting, fun, juice, but still having that edge of toughness, discipline, physicality, those kind of things.
And you've been in Philadelphia. Have you been able to get out and get a cheesesteak?
I have. Rich has taken me to a bunch of places. So I've probably had 6, 7, maybe 8 of the best.
So you're
Philadelphia. I'm adjusted well. I went to the University of Florida football coaches party. I had 50 cheesesteaks flown down, and the coaches there appreciated it.
Do you have a top cheesesteak place?
I can't answer that question.
Well, then you've had pretty good experiences so far then. So as you're looking forward to next season, what's the prep that you're going to demand of your players?
Just the big thing is the culture that's been established here over the last 10 years, the championship culture, approaching every single day to be your absolute best. There's a standard that's been set here, and we're going to elevate that standard, whether it be on the football field, in the classroom, socially, spiritually. We're going to take our standard to the next level every single day.
And Temple's kind of whole motto is, student athlete, performance on the field and off the field. What value does education have to you?
The first team meeting that we had, we reviewed that the team GPA last year was a 2.94, and we said that's the standard, but the new standard is going to be a 3.1. So that's been a challenge on almost every text or a lot of the tweets that we send out, hashtag 3.1. So we're all about setting new standards of excellence and being the best, because if we're the best in the classroom, then we have a chance to be the best on the field.
And what kind of support have you received from around the college football community as you've taken on this new role?
Right. Well, everybody's been excited. Obviously, when I first got the job, the number of text messages, emails about wanting to join the staff. A, because a lot of them knew me, but B, was because of Temple. Living in Philadelphia, the 4th largest media market in the country, being around a bunch of great kids that want to work hard, that aren't selfish, they want to buy into a team concept. It's kind of hard not to want to be a part of that. And, I just think people are excited for me, excited for this university, excited for this football team.
And from what I understand, your wife went to Parsons in New York, correct?
Yes,
So,
she
like,
did.
what kind of impact did she have on, this whole process and wanting to come back up north?
Right. Well, she, has family up here, but the big thing is she loves the Northeast. Obviously, graduating from Parsons, she's got some style. She's got a little swag. She helps me pick out my clothes, and so a lot of the things that we do, she has a great influence. I bounce ideas off of her all the time. She's a highly creative person, good person, caring person. So it's just been perfect for me as a college football coach to have her by my side.
And how do you balance, your family and then, being a new head football coach?
Well, they're still back in Gainesville. I try to see them every time I get. I've become an expert at FaceTime. But other than that, just excited for them to get up here, to be around our guys, to be around this place, because they're just tremendous people for us to be around.
And as you go into the off season and training camp is coming up, there's a lot of spots that need to be filled from the graduating class. What kind of competition standards are you, expecting of your players?
Well, the big thing is, everywhere I've been, we've never had a depth chart. When you're ready to play, you're going to play, and how much you play depends on how well you practice, how well you perform. So just getting that culture ingrained in our guys, that you might not be the starter on paper, but you might play significant amounts of time. And we just talk about being above the line. If you work to be above the line, then you're playing. If you're below the line, that means you're not ready. Let's keep working, keep developing until you're all ready to be above the line and contribute.
And you had the unique opportunity to take the job while the seniors still have one more game to play. And although you won't necessarily be coaching them, what kind of impact did they have on you?
Well, one of the biggest things, I had my first team meeting right before my press conference when I got hired. And after the meeting, I kicked everybody out except for the returning seniors, or the graduating seniors. And I just talked to them how my heart went out to them is this transition might be the hardest on them because now their head coach who they've known for 4 years isn't here, but I wanted to make sure they knew that their value was huge around here. And whenever they stepped back into this building, they were going to be treated like stars, be treated like legends. We actually changed the locker room. On the back row of the locker room, it's now called Legends Row. So if you played here, you come back and you're getting ready for pro day, you've got a workout, you've got a whole row of lockers for our legends.
Wow.
So PJ Hall, Tyler Matakevich, Ioannidis, whoever comes back, they've got a place where they feel at home. And even though I never got the pleasure to coach them, they've got a place because they built this place, and they should always have a place that they feel like they're special, and that they're valued, and that their contributions really matter because they do. So that's just a small token of gratitude that I could do.
And I've seen that Matt Ioannidis is back on campus. Tyler Matakevich has been back.
Sure.
You never coached them. But, what was your interaction like with them the first time that you met
Yeah,
them?
the biggest thing, I reached out to all of them, and I just told them that I'm here for them. They don't have to do anything for me. I'm here for them. Whatever role that I can play to help their experience here at Temple when they come back better, that's what I want to do. So I just want to make sure those guys felt like when they came back to Philadelphia, they had a place to come back, hang up their bag, hang up their cleats, had a place to come sit with the head coach, visit, because I'm here for them. So.
And fast forward, last question.
Okay.
You're looking first game as a head coach. You're in South Bend against Notre Dame. What do you think that feeling is going to be like for you coming
I'm just excited. The big thing is we talk about all the time is the opponent doesn't matter, the scoreboard doesn't matter. All that matters is the next opponent, and so I'm just excited to go there, be a head coach, be with my team, and represent Temple the right way, play tough, play physical, play a brand of football that all of Temple Nation is going to be excited about, and I think this is going to be a great day.
Well, thank you, Coach, for joining
Thank
us,
you.
and we are very much looking forward to it.
Thank you.
What's next for Coach Collins? Off-season workouts and the eventual cherry and white game coming up in April. And Owl Nation fans are certainly looking forward to that first game next season when Temple takes the field against Notre Dame in South Bend. Reporting from Edberg Olson Hall, Emily Miller, Out Sports Update.